Good afternoon, my dear students. Today we have discussed about crop protection, which is the fifth step in agricultural practice. In our previous class, we were discussed about irrigation and different methods of irrigation, and in today's class, we were discussing about crop protection. We know that the crop that we grows in the field must be protected from insect, pest, weeds, etc. Right? So first we can discuss about protection from weeds. How we can protect the crop from weeds. So weeds are the unwanted plants that grows along with the crop plant in a field. And the most common weeds in India are Amaranthus and Chenopodium. These are the two most common Indian weeds. And there are lots of other weeds, but these two you need to study. Okay, and there are certain reasons why the weeds are to be removed or why the weeds are dangerous to the crop plants. The first reason is the weeds that grow in the crop field will consume a large amount of sunlight, water, nutrients and space for which is available for the crop plant. Okay, so that will leads to a insufficient amount of nutrient, water, sunlight and space for the crop plant, and that will leads to its damage. Okay, and the second reason is the weeds will harbor certain pests, and this pest will causes certain diseases to the crop plant. So that is the reason why the why the weed is not necessary. That is the second reason why the weeds are dangerous to plants. And the third reason is some weeds produce certain toxic substance, and that toxic substances are harmful to the human beings and animals. These are the three reasons why the weeds are to be removed or why the weeds are dangerous to the crop plants. So because of these reasons, and there are lots of other reasons, the weeds must be removed from the crop field. So the best time for the removal of the weeds are before the flower formation or before the seed formation of the crop plant. So the weeds must be removed before the flowering and seed setting of crop plant. The removal of weeds from a crop field is called as weeding. The process of removal of weeds from a crop field is called as weeding. And there are different methods of weeding. First one is mechanical method, second one is chemical method, and the third one is biological method of weeding. We can discuss about mechanical method of weeding. In this method, we can use our hands or we can use certain tools for manually removing the weeds. The manual removal of weeds occur in mechanical method by using our hands or by using certain simple tools. Okay, so the tools which are used for this mechanical method is a plow can be used, hoe, harrow, and a seed drill can be used, and also a trowel. A trowel is very important in mechanical method of weed removal. So these are the simple tools that can be used for the manual removal of weeds from a field. Okay, and in chemical method, the term itself have the definition. The certain chemicals are used for the removal of weeds, and that chemical is harmful to the weeds only, not causing any harmful effect to the crop plant. So such kind of chemicals that kill the weed is called as weedicide. And the most common weedicide is 2,4-D, 2,4-dichloroacetic acid. Dichlorophenoxyacetic acid is 2,4-D. This is the example for weedicide, which is the chemical method of weeding. And there is a important thing while using the weedicide is the farmers must wear a mask, or they must cover their nose and mouth while spraying the weedicide in a crop field. Why? Because it will cause certain health effect to the human beings or to the farmers. Okay, it is a chemical and that will cause a certain harmful effect to the health of farmers. So when they spray the weedicides on the weeds, the care should be taken. Otherwise, they will be affected with certain diseases. Okay, so this is about chemical method of weeding. And the next method is biological method of weeding. In that, certain insects and other organisms that damage and that will consume the weed plants are used. So by using such kind of insects or organism, the biological control of weeds are used. Okay, the biological control of weeds are used are done by using certain insects or certain other organism. The most common example is by using cochineal insects. The weeding of prickly pear cactus is done. It is a weed and that can be controlled by using an insect called a cochineal insect. Okay, and so this is about the protection from weeds. And the next topic is protection from pests and diseases. We know that certain pests and diseases will attack the crop plant, that will reduce the crop yield and also damage the crop plant. Okay, and so in order to avoid that, we need to use some chemicals or some other things for the protection. Okay, so first thing is we know that pests are the organisms that will attack and damage the crop plant. It may be either the rodents or insects. So according to that, either we can use the rodenticide or pesticide, or the insecticide, which is coming under the pesticide category. Rodenticides are there, insecticides are there, both are coming under pesticide. Pesticides are the chemicals that are sprayed on the crop field for the removal of attack of pest. Okay, this pesticide will not cause any harmful effect to the crop plants. Instead, they will damage or they will kill the pest and their eggs. Spraying of pesticides can be done with the help of hand-operated machines or with the help of low-flying aircrafts. When the pesticides are sprayed on field, it reaches the soil. Okay, the pesticides will reaches the soil, and from the soil, the crop plants will absorb these pesticides. And when we consume the products from that crop plant, what will happen? That pesticide, that chemical pesticide will reaches our body also, and that will damage our body, or that will cause us any disease in our body. The examples for insecticides are given here. BHC, malathion and dicystone are the examples for insecticides. So you just study the examples also. So these are the things that we have covered in today's class. The rest we will be taken in our next class. Thank you.